So much to talk about, so much change with drivers changing teams, new drivers coming to the series, and an Indy 500 champ leading this field to green. For 2024, the NTT IndyCar Series is underway here in St. Pete. Newgarden leads the field, but watch that orange and black car. Pato Award on the inside, couldn't quite get there.
Oh, but 4 wide further back with Roman Grosjean dropping back. There's contact with some of those green and black cars. That's Marcus Armstrong as well, and Rinus VeeKay comes out the lead of the 3 green and blacks.
This is where we had all the issues last year. The top of your screen, turn 3, it looks like it's all clear. We see Palou trying to go down the inside of, I think, Christian Lundgaard into turn 4. A little bit of contact there, everybody getting through.
No, I think Lundgaard's got a flat right rear on the 45.
Will Power, Marcus Armstrong, Scott Dixon. Puncture is the call. Well spotted, T-Bell. This is the Hy-Vee Honda. Problems for Lundgaard. He's wounded.
Jamming up the back of the field here. They're all desperate to get by, but Lundgaard desperate to try to get to pit lane and see if he can stay on the lead lap.
Now Palou trying to defend from Alex Rossi behind Kyle Kirkwood. Callum Ilott in line there as we see all the cars trying to get around the wounded Hy-Vee Honda from Christian Lundgaard.
What a shame. Got his first IndyCar race win last year. The talented Danish driver up front though. Look at Felix Rosenqvist in that pink and white Auto Nation Sirius XM Bon Jovi radio car. He is trying to rock and roll around the streets of St. Pete and take the lead away from Newgarden.
It's certainly a good sign if you're Joseph Newgarden. He's pulling away a little bit now from Felix Rosenqvist. It's almost like those alternate tires on the 60 of Felix starting to wear a little bit more. These primaries are really hanging on quite well. I wonder
what kind of information they're giving Joseph Newgarden right now, because it looks like he's saving some.
I think we can get that extra lap. I think what these guys are trying to do is the same.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to get a fuel number to get an extra lap on this stint.
Under caution for the first time on the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida. Unfortunately, it is for the 23-year-old New Zealander, Marcus Armstrong in the Ridgeline Lubricants Honda. This is what happened. Watch the green car.
Turn 10, just a little hot on the brakes, locks the left front. He thinks about trying to maybe take the overshoot, and he's like, I can make the corner, and he just runs out of room. New this year is the conveyor belt wrap on those tires. It did a good job producing a glancing blow for Armstrong, but unfortunately that contact is too much. It chews up the right front, and then the banner has a wallop.
And then that orange and blue car right behind him, Scott Dixon, his teammate. You said it off the top of the show. So good at avoiding calamity, avoiding chaos. We saw it in turn 1 going inside of that curb. We saw it here. Very heads-up driving from Dixon.
Christian Lundgaard in the Hy-Vee Honda at the front there, playing the big catch-up game after that altercation on the opening lap. We're back racing here in St. Pete.
So this will be interesting because Lundgaard probably can hang on here for maybe 4 or 5 laps before he has to make his pit. He'll try to stretch as long as he can as Rinus VeeKay goes inside.
Scott Dixon.
Dixon once again, those are the kind of decisions that Scott Dixon makes to survive the street circuits.
But it also just shows the Ganassi car struggling a bit as Newgarden makes the move on Colton Herta, takes that position back that he lost in pit lane. Very decisive on those softer tires now. Colton has switched to the black sidewall primary tires. Newgarden not able to get the pass done on Rosenqvist there, but heads up to Rhodesy. He gave him room on the inside and avoided some potentially really bad contact.
Yeah, some high percentage decision making as Newgarden. Rosenqvist again inside turn 1.
Race lead.
Still there.
Well, effective race lead to Joseph Newgarden. Lundgaard is out in front at the moment, but Joseph Newgarden, who, by the way, won the Rolex 24 at Daytona this year. Here's Pato Award on the inside of his old teammate. He gets Rosenqvist as well.
Look at VeeKay making the move on the red and white black Verizon car here of Will Power. That's Rinus VeeKay in the green car up ahead. Power working his fuel map in between corners, in the corners.
AJ Foyt, driver in the 41 there. I think that's down in turn 1.
See a little brake smoke in the right front real well as the steering wheel comes off the AJ Foyt entry. Stingray Rob is out and he'll walk away. I think he's looking for a fire extinguisher. What happened here?
Just looks like a little bit of rear lockup there on that white paint.
Almost looks like he lost
there's some kind of failure.
Potential.
Yeah, because that didn't slow down at all once he kind of turned out of it.
He's pointing to that right front. Understand there was an issue here for the 51 who did a top up. That's Colin Brown, the Dale Coyne racing car, and that looks like quite a bit of excess fuel flowing onto the side pod in the right rear, but looks like round's still underway, and that has extinguished itself.
First IndyCar race, the sports car champion, he's been doing well. He's enjoying it up until that point. All right, second full course caution out of the way. Let's go racing. A couple of Chevy powered cars up front. Joseph Newgarden leads. Pato Award back to green here down the runway at Albert Whitted Airport. Rosenquist tucked in behind his old teammate. They're good friends too. Then the white and red Dex imaging machine. Scott McLaughlin ahead of Colton Herter, his teammate Marcus Ericsson, then Rinus VeeKay. Here they come.
Hustling through that newly repaved turn 2 and 3, flat out or nearly flat out. They're nose to tail right now. I don't see anybody trying to duck out just yet, James, and make something happen on this restart.
Like you say, with a few laps from the pit stop, the tires are warmer than the last restart. Car's not sliding around quite as much as we see McLaughlin all crossed up coming off of turn 9 there, but everyone a little bit more in control, but Pato Award not letting Joseph Newgarden get away. That black and orange McLaren lurking in the mirrors of the number 2.
So Marcus Ericsson just started losing positions and has come in here. No idea what the issue is at, running down, try to see what the problem is, but they have shut off the car, it looks like. So a problem for Marcus Ericsson, the winner last year. And they've taken the engine cowling off.
Oh boy. For the man who won here last year, won the Indy 500 2 years ago, his first run with Andretti Global. And it's not going to result in defense of that victory.
Watch
here he
this.
is.
Watch Marcus Ericsson, a wounded race car. He's outside, unfortunately, on the wrong side of the track, and he's desperately going to try to get across to pit lane. That is some dicey stuff as you're looking in those tiny side pod mounted rear view mirrors.
Dramas here for Scott Dixon. Look at the PNC Bank Honda, third car in shot. This is coming down into turn 10 over on the backside of the circuit. Whoa, locks it up.
Boy.
Remember, this is where his teammate came to grief, right here.
Yep. Smashed
into that tire bundle there. Good save from Dixon.
And again, it's rear lockup into turn 10, and that looked pretty unexpected as look at the marbles growing now. They are everywhere. Take a look at this replay. Will Power up inside Rinus VeeKay into turn 10. A nice clean move. Here's the onboard look from the Verizon car.
And again, this is primaries on alternates, Townsend, so maybe the alternate's starting to fall off a little bit.
I'll bet it might be more fuel related. I feel like VeeKay was maybe burning a lot more fuel early, and it wouldn't surprise me if his team's saying, hey, dude, you got to chill. We need to save some gas here if we're going to make it to the end on one more stop.
I think this is Scott Dixon too on Rinus VeeKay down the runway, down the front straight here at Albert Whitted Airport. That was very straightforward for Dixon.
The alternates have that advantage. It's distinct as we see Linus Lundqvist in the tires at turn 10.
The American Legion car. This is the turn that brought his teammate Marcus Armstrong to grief and out of the race, and we're under full course caution.
And this is why you had to pit as soon as Alex Rossi and Grosjean came into the pits when you're the leaders. Had they stayed out and tried to extend that stint and this yellow happens, they would have been absolutely hosed, had to pit under yellow and cycle to the back.
That's why you hear Townsend always say the danger zone. This is it in case something like this happens. Check it out. Watch the white and blue car coming towards us. And Linus Lundqvist, is there contact with Romain Grosjean? There sure is. The Honko's hauling a Chevy. Here we go. Green again at St. Pete. Let's race to the end, or will we? Newgarden with a good restart. Award. And look at McLaughlin. He's diving. He's weaving. He's getting impatient. And on the inside, Felix Rosenquist defends from Will Power.
Gets pretty dicey here. Totally different situation. Everybody's going to be at max power as Colton Herta has a massive slide out of turn 3.
What can McLaughlin do on the outside? Felix Rosenquist locking up there into 4, but Colton Herta just able to hang on. McLaughlin needs to pounce early. He's got that tire advantage with the alternates, and he is all over the gearbox. Oh, Colton Herta, I think, touched the wall there entering turn 9.
And Will Power is all over the back of Felix Rosenquist. There's going to be some moves coming here momentarily. McLaughlin, the white and red car on the inside. He's going for it on Herta, and so too Power. And Power, an amazing turn 10 to not hit the tire barrier there.
That's one of McLaughlin's old tricks from Surfer's Paradise, sending it up the inside like he used to do in the V8 supercars. Colton Herta, nothing he could really do to defend, but Glockland was determined on the charge and on those softer Firestones with more grip at the start.
It is a Chevy road show at the moment. Here comes Power. Power on Herta. That's for 4th place.
And speaking of Herta, let's just go back to earlier that lap going into 9. I thought maybe he clipped the wall, but it was just oversteer getting on the Power out of 8 on those harder, slower Firestones as we see Palou now looking on the inside of Rosenquist.
The champ. Can anybody do anything about Joseph Newgarden? 6.3 seconds in the lead. He just continues to grow it. Would you have predicted that 3 of the top 4 cars would be Team Penske, continuing this steamroller run on the heels of Ryan Blaney's NASCAR Cup Series win, Joseph Newgarden's Indy 500 win, the Rolex 24 at Daytona win, the World Endurance Championship season opener win. There is no stopping Roger Penske and Team Penske, whether it's here in IndyCar or wherever the captain race.
But I'll tell you what, there's one thing we've learned about Newgarden through the years. If he finds clean air at the front, he owns it.
Yeah, bye-bye. Through the last chicane, round the last 2 turns. What a way to start a new championship season. Indy 500 winner, Rolex 24 at Daytona winner, St. Pete winner for the 3rd time. The Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete belongs to Joseph Newgarden.
Great job, everybody. Really nice execution. Thanks for all the work.
Nicely done, Joseph. Nicely done.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.